Today I'm going to try to convince you to start reading One Piece, or at least try to. The story that captured the hearts of millions, a story that is over 1,000 chapters long.
It's too long, Gon. It's too fucking big.
That's the worst argument I've ever heard.
Oh, and yes, I'll be tackling the main reasons why people don't pick it up in the first place. That is, it's too long, and I don't like the art style. That'll be covered in section 1. And in section 2, I'll talk about all the reasons why this is so good. Yes, I understand 1,000 chapters is quite intimidating, and people who don't know about the story question why it's so goddamn long.
Why? Why?
And sometimes I just straight up hear people say that he's just doing it for money and he's just trying to milk it as much as possible. Like, what? That is one of the most rhetorical things one could ever say. Like, imagine yourself being a millionaire, but you're still making yourself work 30 hours a day, 12 days a week for the next 50 years. Oda probably uses a hyperbolic time chamber to do his other shit, and people still say he does it just for money. Like, no. It's because he loves the series. Because even to this day, this guy cooks up some banging chapters. The art style is goofy. Not gonna lie, I agree it's kind of goofy, but that's what makes it unique. Oda himself stated that he could just draw them as regular shonen characters, but he wants to stand out, and he did. And that's the charm about One Piece. Everyone looks unique and vibrant. Oftentimes in anime, we can just straight out tell who's going to be important or who's the main character. Like, wow, goddamn, who's the main character here? Ooh, I don't know who's going to live or who's going to die. But in One Piece, everyone looks unique, or they just blend in and look normal. Like, ask yourselves, why would anyone try to stand out looking so outlandish? For no reason. The characters in One Piece look so regular that even the animators think that they are just regular NPCs, not knowing how important they actually are. And you might be thinking, isn't that a bad thing? Why are you making it sound so good? Because it makes the world realistic. I'm home chilling with my family on a Sunday afternoon. What do you expect me to wear? A suit on Sunday afternoon? At home? Why? I get to pick and choose when and where I need to look cool, because that is very realistic. And it's not just about how you look, but also what you do. For example, this is my favorite character outside the MC. Those who know him would understand why, and for those who don't, well, he's the original Giga Chad. By the way, I'm new here, so I would really like it if you would like, comment, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. Okay, now on to the main reasons why everyone loves One Piece. The lore, the world building, You've heard it a million times, so I'll just briefly discuss how deep it actually is. Like, for example, Thriller Bark, published on 2007. Here we got to know that Moria got his ass whooped by Kaido, and we also got to know that he stole Ryuma and his sword from Wano not long after. Now, 10 years later, we got to find out that Kaido is in Wano. Like, we could have figured this out years ago, and we get to see a flashback of these two fighting. Imagine waiting 10 years just to connect these two dots. And not only that, we figured out what a Weaver card is after 8 years since it was given to us by Ace. Then we get Big Mom's Weaver card, which comes in handy 6 years later on Whole Cake Island. Man, Oda can hold a nap. And also, by the way, we did get to see Oden in Thriller Bark, or at least what's left of him. And this is why we love Oda so much, as he puts all these little big things to make the world feel alive, from all the different races, the hierarchies, the different currencies, the brands. Yes, you heard me, there are literally clothing brands in the world of One Piece. Are they important to the plot? Nope. It's just extra drip. And that's the thing, he didn't have to go out of his way to make all these different brands, but he did because he wanted to make the world of One Piece feel as immersed as possible. Each island has its own wiki page, detailed with all the structures, climates, and geography. Every named character has their own wiki page, even this guy. He writes backstories and name drops important characters and facts you didn't know about certain characters in this thing called SBS, because he can't fit everything in the manga, and if he did try to do it, it would actually be way too long. For example, we got the backstory of Kid and Killer in the SBS. They both grew up in the South Blue. They both had a crush on this girl named Victoria, who tragically died, and that's the reason why they named their ship Victoria Punk, in memory of her. And it's kind of sad knowing what happens. Okay, now character writing. One Piece does not hold back in that either. Everyone is fleshed out deeply, even the villains that aren't that important. For example, Bellamy is one of my favorite villains. Yes, Bellamy, the guy who got one-punched by Luffy. Because this man went from spitting on people's dreams to start dreaming himself. From blindly following the person he idolizes to start following his own path. He was a rat, a scum, trying to do whatever he can to gain the favor of the person he idolizes, Doflamingo. Even though later he realizes that this is wrong and he goes too far, and that's the reason why he asked Luffy to beat him down. And he did the same way he did back in Jaya. But instead of getting hyped up like we did back then, this punch was painful. And when the arc ended, he didn't join Luffy's fleet because he wanted to walk in his own path. And guess what he did? He retired from being a pirate and he got a new job. Okay, now let's talk about the man he idolized, Don Quixote do Flamingo, one of the most well-written One Piece characters, if not the best. He is pure fucking evil. He has a human auction store. He's the underground broker that helps distribute weapons. He took over an entire country by controlling the king to kill his own people and then stepping in to save the day. And the only reason he didn't straight off kill him was because his daughter begged him not to in exchange for favors. Yep, this is something most of y'all didn't catch. Yet, once we learned about his past, we kind of understand why he turned into this monster. He was raised to think he was a god who had the rights to have everything, you name it, slaves, women, money, and that was all stripped away from him by his father. Let me put that into perspective. Imagine being born into a billionaire's home, living the life, you have everything, and the next minute, everything is taken away from you. And now you're homeless. And let me remind you, it's not your fault. Someone decided that for you. And this is why he tries everything in his power to gain that status back. And this is also why he hates and mistreats Bellamy so much, because he reminds him of his father. Bellamy came from a wealthy family, but he gave up all his wealth and riches to become a stinking pirate, just like his father did to live a normal life. This is how deep these characters are, and I just gave a short summary. I can literally talk about these two for 1 hour each, cause that's how fleshed out these characters are. Okay, if you made it this far, I'm pretty sure you're a One Piece fan or someone who is interested enough to, pick it up and read it. And I'm telling you, try to reach at least Arlong Park before you drop it. So yeah, this was fun to make. I hope you like it. And yeah, do me a favor by, liking it, commenting down below and subscribe, and share it with your other friends as well.